Hi class, and welcome back to ESL. I'm Virginia Edwards, and today we are going to be talking about prepositions and prepositional phrases. So first, before we talk about prepositional phrases, let's do a review about prepositions. So remember, prepositions are words that we use to link nouns, pronouns, or phrases to other words in the sentence. Okay? And they act to connect people, objects, time, and locations in the sentence. And prepositions are usually really short words that normally are placed directly in front of the nouns. So simple prepositions consist of only one word, and they're like the word in, on, at, with, against, etc. And there's a whole list of these, okay? You can find those lists anywhere on the internet, and that might be helpful to have a copy of that. Now, we do have compound prepositions also. These prepositions consist of two or more words. For example, instead of, in the middle of, by the side of. So those are prepositions that consist of more than one word. Now, there's three basic types of prepositions to be mindful of: prepositions of time, place, and direction. So what do each of these prepositions do? When we say place, what we mean is that these prepositions are going to show where something is, right? A place, where. And they are called prepositions of place. So for example, we have Sammy was sitting under a tree. Okay, under is a preposition of place telling us where was he sitting, under a tree. Some geese flew over the house, right? Where did they fly? Over the house. I have a friend who lives in America. Where does she live? In America. So these are all telling us where something is, okay? And they're coming before that noun that they're modifying there, okay? Now we have prepositions of time. So these prepositions show when something happens. Here we have some examples. School starts at 9 o'clock. When? At 9 o'clock. We're going to the zoo on Saturday. When? On Saturday. Okay. I visited my grandparents during the summer. When did you visit? During the summer. So again, these are just telling us a little more information about time. And then the other one that I want to talk about today is the prepositions of direction, okay? So again, where something is going, and these are called prepositions of direction. So we have some examples here. A man was walking his dog along the riverbank. So where is the man going with his dog? He's going along the riverbank, okay? The freeway goes through the city. Where is it going? It's going through the city. We are traveling towards Miami. Where are we going to? Towards Miami. Okay. You are going to notice that some of these prepositions can be used for time and place. Okay. So it doesn't mean that they can only be used for this one thing. Okay. So on, at, in can be prepositions of location too, okay? So prepositional phrases. Well, a prepositional phrase, if you remember about phrases, it's a group of words, but there's no subject or verb in the phrase, okay? So it tells positions of people and things in the sentence, usually in space or time. And a preposition and its object is called a prepositional phrase. The object can be a noun or a noun phrase also. So here's some examples. Our trip to the desert will begin at 6 in the morning. You will notice here that there's several prepositional phrases. So you can have one, you can have none, or you can have several, all right? So we have our trip. And where's our trip? To the desert. When will it begin? At 6 in the morning. When? In the morning. So at 6 in the morning. Here we have two prepositional phrases that are together But again, they're separate phrases. So don't think of it as at 6 in the morning, all one phrase. Okay, they are two separate ones. We went to the store to buy some groceries. So here we have the phrase to the store, right? Telling us where we went to buy groceries. Okay, so asking those questions might be helpful. What time? Where? Along? Where? Okay, so that might be helpful to remember those questions that I had for the prepositions of time, place, and direction. So here we have a prepositional phrase. Again, we want to remember it starts with a preposition, in, at, on, during, with, okay? And it's going to end with an object, okay? That makes the prepositional phrase. The object needs to be a noun or a pronoun object. Here's some examples. We went to the library. We start with the preposition to, we end with the object library, right? Library is a noun, right? On the way, you will see a big, beautiful tree. Here, the preposition is in the beginning, on the way. It starts with on, ends with way. On the way, you will see a big, beautiful tree. Be careful with the word to. To can be a preposition, but it can also be part of the verb infinitive. So it can function as either one. How do you tell the difference? Well, if it's part of a prepositional phrase, then the object, we know objects are nouns, so it'll have the noun. I am going to the store. Store is a noun. But if I say I'm going to buy some flowers, buy is not a noun, it's a verb, right? So in this case, to buy is actually an infinitive. So that is not a prepositional phrase. So the comma rule, there is a comma rule for prepositional phrases also. If it's in the beginning of the sentence, you should put a comma after it. In the winter, comma, most bears hibernate. So we have the prepositional phrase in the winter. In, preposition, winter, object. But when we put it at the end, most bears hibernate in the winter, no comma. All right, so comma if it's in the beginning of the sentence there. So here's a couple of practices. What do you think the prepositional phrase is in number 1? We went to the store on Friday. You're right, there are two. To the store on Friday. Very good. How about number 2? During the storm, the electricity went out. Correct, it's during the storm, so it's in the beginning. Number 3, the test was really difficult for ESL students. There's one, for ESL students. Preposition for, students is the object, okay? So again, sometimes sentences won't have any prepositional phrases, but they do give really good description about the noun, about the object. So they're very good to use. So I hope you enjoyed this video and all the other videos we have. Hope to see you back soon. Thank you.